Well, good morning, everyone. It's Congresswoman Ashley Hinson here, and I am coming to you live from what has been a very chaotic, very dysfunctional Washington, D.C. over the last couple of weeks. I have been getting a lot of questions from Iowans about what the heck is going on up here, so I figured this was a good time to just hop on this morning, give you an update about what we've experienced here in Congress in the last few weeks. So I wanted to start off with the most obvious point of concern, the motion to vacate from yesterday. Republicans had an opportunity to focus all of our energy against the disastrous Biden agenda that is open borders. We've seen the rampant inflation. I hear from many of you about that on a consistent basis. We've got skyrocketing crime. Instead, with this motion, we saw the House be paralyzed, come to a halt. And I understand it's the hardworking Americans, Iowans like you, who are the ones who pay a price for political games like this. And I think, frankly, the politicians who are playing them are selfish. So I will continue working to end this embarrassing, frankly, chaos and dysfunction, and we'll continue to work on solutions to the challenges that I hear directly from you about every single day. Trust me when I say I share your frustrations. It has been an immensely frustrating process to go through. I want to be here working on funding the government, working on securing our border, working on unleashing American energy. I hear from people all the time about how expensive it is to fill up their gas tanks, and there's more we can be doing there. And so I think it's really unacceptable that our work has stopped and that our conservative agenda right now is on hold when we need to be advancing that the most. So I will be heading back to Iowa today. I look forward to spending time with you in the district at the end of this week, being out in our communities and just hearing directly from you. I know you know this because I'm out in the district. I do a 22 county tour every quarter, but just know I am still laser focused on delivering results for you. I will stay above the DC drama and make sure we are getting the job done. So in my mind, that means a couple of things. We need to be moving on to government funding. What's next there? I think it goes without saying, but Iowans and Americans have really come to expect Congress to end up at this brinksmanship of a government shutdown every single year. It is unacceptable. You, taxpayers, deserve better here. And as a member of the House Appropriations Committee, I have been working on this for months. I think we've done a good job of presenting bills that do slash wasteful spending and advance our conservative priorities. A couple of examples, we crafted some legislation that reduces the EPA's budget. They have been targeting people by 39%. We're defunding things like ridiculous DEI initiatives at federal agencies that President Biden has put into place. We're trying to prevent the president from supersizing the IRS with 87,000 new IRS agents. We have passed legislation off the floor that helps to build the wall and secure our border in our Homeland Security bill. So my goal throughout this entire process has been and will continue to be, where can we cut wasteful spending? Where can we make sure we're conducting that necessary oversight on your taxpayer dollars being spent by these federal agencies? And we need to pass the most fiscally conservative legislation that is possible while still making sure we're investing in Iowans' priorities. So it has been frustrating. Congress needs to do its job. We need to fund the government. I wish we could do it on time through regular order with our 12 separate appropriations bills. And I think we're all in agreement on this. It is frustrating. Congress has not funded the government on time since 1996. I was 13 years old when that happened. So I think when it's fall like it is now, you can expect football season, some chilly weather, and threats of government shutdown. And that's where we are. So last I checked on the calendar, September 30th is on the same day each year. We've got to work to get this done on time so we can, again, avoid this brinkmanship and the games that come with a shutdown threat. So in that vein, last week I did support a short-term continuing resolution. It would have kept government open for a month. It would have cut spending by 29% for government operations, excluding important things like national security. It included some key border security measures, and most importantly, in my mind, to deal with our debt long-term, it created a bipartisan fiscal commission to actually look at addressing our debt and how we're going to do that. However, we saw some Republicans and Democrats vote that down. Ultimately, we ended up passing a different continuing resolution to keep the government open. And Let me be clear about this. It was not my first, second, third, or even fourth option. And again, we needed to move forward, but it is Americans who feel the pain from this brinksmanship, not the politicians here in Washington. So I'm proud that we were able to work together as an Iowa delegation. The entire Iowa delegation, both in Congress and our senators, worked together to ensure that our military members and our law enforcement are getting paid, that our veterans can access services at the VA, that our farmers right here during harvest time have full access to USDA programs, and that families are not turned away from Head Start programs. So I will always be solutions oriented. We should continue with our work to pass single subject appropriations bills. We need to be funding the government in a conservative, fiscally responsible, and transparent way. So that is my priority going forward. We're going to get through this leadership challenge, and I will be working around the clock to do just that, to make sure we are being responsible and spending less money. It's your money, it's not the government's money. So one other thing I wanted to quick highlight before I wrap this morning. I think it was very fitting a couple of weeks ago. I'm working on a Clean Up Washington package. We want to make this place run better for you. So I'm working with Senator Ernst. She is co-leading it in the Senate, but the bills in the package really work to hold government accountable. You can find more information about this on our website, hinson.house.gov. But just in brief, it includes a couple of different bills. We have the Swamp Act, which is the goal of that really is to move federal agency headquarters outside of Washington, D.C. We want those headquarters to be closer to the people whose lives are actually impacted by federal decision making. The next one in the package is called the Scrub Act, and that would repeal outdated regulations that hurt our family farms, our small businesses, and our workers. It establishes a commission, a regulatory review commission, for the sole purpose really of eliminating regulations that are dragging down our economy. It also includes a piece of legislation that I've introduced. Now, this is my second Congress introducing it, but it's the Pure Executive Act, which would quite simply just ban senior administration officials from lobbying on behalf of foreign agents and governments for life, and also would put a 5-year ban on senior administration employees from turning around and then lobbying a federal agency where they were employed. So that package of bills I'm very proud of. I think it's starting the process of putting Washington on the right track to work again. But clearly we have other challenges right now that we need to work through and we need to find resolution to. So I will always be transparent and accessible to you. I think that means breaking down the good. It means breaking down the bad and the ugly from here in Washington, D.C. So thank you again for the opportunity to serve you. And I look forward to working with you to help resolve these challenges for Iowans and the American people. Have a great Wednesday.